I got a heads up a couple of days ago from the segment producer, Jay Leno. He said, just talked to Jim Parsons, Big Bang Theory. He's a big, big fan of the show. And I go, of what show? Of your show. Really? And so I watched The Tonight Show, and this is a portion of what Jim, who plays Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, told Jay Leno.
Did you ever work in sports at any point in time?
No, God, no. I mean, who would have me? But it did give me an idea. I love the Dan Patrick Show.
Okay.
And I have thought for a long time how badly I would like to be like a free intern there. And, I mean, that's the only way they would have me is for free. And even then, they probably don't have the space to spare.
Yeah.
But it's just my favorite group of people in the world, I've decided. Yeah, I mean, they feel like friends. None that I really have, but, friends.
Right,
you have Dan and Fritzy and Paulie and Seaton and McLovin. And they're my friends.
So you would hang with them?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have anything good to offer to the conversation is the other bad part, which, again, is why I offer my services for free.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like a summer internship, and
okay.
then I could learn some things about sports and make new friends.
All right. Well, he's on NBC. I could make a call for you.
You really?
I'd be glad to do that. Sure.
I don't think they'll have me. I mean, I really don't think they have the space, and I just don't bring much to the table. But please try.
Well, you certainly do a good job of selling yourself. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's bring in Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. You got the job if you wanted, and just
6'2", 175. Thank you.
But here's the thing. You got to tell me which Danette you would replace during your summer internship.
Okay. We should be clear about something, though. The intent here was never to rob somebody of a paycheck. The intent here was never to fix something that isn't broken, which goes to a larger point. I don't want to ruin something that I already enjoy. There's not much on TV or on radio that I like that much anyway, so the idea of coming in and breaking something that is good to me as far as entertainment goes, that hurts.
Okay, what would you add then to the show if we kept all the Danettes in place?
Well, I think I've been very clear about this. I don't think I'd add very much at all. This is much more just about my edification. Now, I might surprise myself, while in the environment, and something interesting may come out of my mouth.
But how did this happen where you stumbled upon this show and felt like we were friends?
Well, I don't know how. I was trying to remember the other day how I first discovered the show. I used to watch a lot more ESPN in the mornings, and I used to watch like First Take and stuff, and then it changed. And then at some point I just was going. You were on the Audience Network then, and it really works out for my schedule because you run from 6 to 9 out here on the West Coast, but it used to replay from 9 to noon, and that was really handy because I could go to work and put it on in my dressing room and stuff. And then I became addicted. And I'm sorry that we've had to pile on McLovin so harshly here. He really was my original favorite Danette. Not that I haven't evolved over time, but,
Well, who is it now?
Well, it's a rotating thing. I don't want to pin anybody out in a good or a bad way.
Could you imagine a TV character who is like Fritzy? Because there are people like McLovin. But Fritzy's
an original. Well, you first want to go with the slightly pervy aspect and try and get something going around that. And there have certainly been perverts on television, And no offense, I mean that in the best way that word.
Of course. Well, we were honored that you actually said all the Danettes because as we're listening, and if you had left one of the Danettes out,
no, that would have been bad.
There would have been tears.
I would have never done that, though. I would have never done that. That's the wrong thing to do. The only thing I will say, the only person I didn't mention, and the only person who I thought I did toy with the idea of maybe being able to take his job a little bit was Two-A-Days. And I don't want to throw him under the bus or anything. I have a sneaking suspicion that Two-A-Days' job is actually a lot harder than it looks.
No, it's not. He makes it harder than what it is, Jim.
Okay, that's fair. And then that's actually a very good job for me to replace. If it's somebody I could make the job harder than it actually is.
He's Jim Parsons. He plays Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory. It's Thursdays, 8 p.m. on CBS, joining us, Dan Patrick Show.
I should tell you in your defense, you were messing up Kaylee's name.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Okay.
And this is something we talk about a lot. Very early on in the series, she was doing an interview and was called, right in front of all of us, Kathy Kamoko. And we've called her Kathy Kamoko for 5.5 years ever since.
Do people use you as a wingman to try to get closer to Kaylee Cuoco?
Probably, but it's not something I would notice. Which is probably a really good thing for people trying to use me as a wingman. I just go along.
What is your go-to sport? If I bring you in here, that I could say, Jim, what do you think? And you would say that.
Well, I didn't grow up playing sports, which I always say you can probably notice that about me very quickly. My gateway sport was tennis. That was the first one I really kind of took to, and I always think it was kind of the person-on-person kind of competition, the one-on-one thing, and I always feel in that when you have to watch somebody kind of struggle against themselves as much as they struggle against their opponent. However, I have in the past few years I really enjoy football a lot, which is kind of the exact opposite of what I just described. But I just think it took a while for me to discover the singular fight of the football player on their team,
But do you guys have a fantasy draft there on the Big Bang Theory?
Me and Kunal are in a league together, and we have our league. Nobody else is part of it, though.
Scripted or live TV? Since this is live,
yeah.
The difference, though, what would be more challenging for you?
Oh, this would.
Well, sometimes scripted is tough.
What'd you say?
Sometimes scripted is difficult because you're trying to, like, live is easy with the emotion and it's a fluid show. Whereas scripted, you stop, you got to start again. You're trying.
But that's why. Well, okay, I hear that. But at the end of the day that you're going to have a finished product. Even if it took you 10 hours to finish a 22-minute episode, you're going to have a finished product that's cleaned around the edges. The benefit of doing a show like yours is, when it's 12 o'clock, we're all done and we can go home. But you may have messed up.
I love the fact that we may have messed up.
I'm not criticizing. This is what I'm saying. This is the appeal of the show.
Yeah.
You said what was harder.
Yeah.
And I think that, I would get accustomed to it after a while and go, forgive yourself.
Well,
you sucked yesterday, you suck today, and probably again tomorrow.
Sometimes you forget, though, that I have 11 cameras here. And sometimes
11?
Yeah.
I've never played. I've never noticed that.
Yeah. Well, we have one behind the basketball hoop.
Oh, sure.
We have two in the corner. We have two handheld. We got, they're all over the place.
Yeah, you're right. We do see a lot of angles.
Yeah, sometimes we see a lot of butt crack. Like McLovin can't quite understand. He wants to wear his pants like a hipster, like a Brooklyn hipster. So
yeah,
it's always butt crack time for him.
See, for me, that's worse than the hair dye.
Would you admit if you dyed your hair?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because
I haven't done that yet, but I think so.
It's killing McLovin.
I don't understand how it started. For one thing, isn't the salt and pepper thing a great look these days?
I said that, but I think he thought he was going to like Anderson Cooper here. And I was in London at the Olympics, and I had somebody who emailed me, said, "What's the deal with McLovin's hair?" So I quickly got a hold of Paulie. I said, "What's the deal?" And he goes, "I think he's putting some paint on it."
How long has it been going on?
McLovin, how long?
About August. End of August, end of the Olympics.
Okay.
I had to do it when Dan was out of the country.
Yeah. Well, I understand that part, but what possessed you? What made you think this is a good idea?
Well, I had a focus group consisting of my hairdresser, my wife, my 2-year-old daughter, and they said, "Yeah, this is it'll be an improvement."
Oh my God! Really?
I told him the same thing, Jim. I said, dude, it's fine.
It's not really like you took their advice. I understand, but what I don't know. And now your wife says you're too vain because of it, though, right?
Yeah, and it's it wasn't a great job either.
Oh.
You got to get a professional to do it.
Yeah, you really don't spare no expense if you're going to go down that road.
If we're in New York on Monday, so I don't know if you ever are in New York.
I am in New York.
Okay.
Frequently, not right now.
Okay, but if you're there on a Sunday and you want to stay over and come in on Monday and go
After
to the
Monday Night Football?
Yes.
Now, you won't be using that studio once football's over, will you?
Probably not, but if there are guests who are going to be in New York, we can always go down there and do the show from New York.
Okay. I'm going to be there sometime in December.
Oh, good. Then if you want to come by Monday to the Man Cave, we'll put you to work there.
I would really appreciate this. This is interesting. You know, I'm not normally the kind of guy to make live on-air commitments, but apparently it's my new thing.
Well, we appreciate what you said on Jay Leno. That was very nice to hear.
I enjoyed saying it. I appreciate what you're doing 6 to 9 every day.
Thank you, Jim, and we'll be in touch. And I told Fritzy to get an address so we can send out some DP show gear to you.
Oh, my God, swag.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Go Texans.
All right. Jim Parsons, Big Bang Theory. We'll go Texans. And tell him if the Texans go to the Super Bowl, Fritzy, then he should join us in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. All right. Nobody's job is on the line then, all right? You feel better now, back row?
No, I thought he'd be a little more supportive of my hair color choices, but no. He's right with the masses
I just think he wants you to be you. You don't have to be somebody else. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, Paulie.
Top 5 surreal moment in show history. And Jim Parsons, Emmy winner, top 10 TV show is referencing two-a-days on the show.
Yeah. He's up. He's won the Emmy twice. He's nominated twice. I think he's nominated again this year. But one of the top shows. Who knew? Who knew people actually watch this show or listen to this show? We didn't. We didn't know that.